Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Untap Your Go here with another deck for your enjoyment, and today we'll be playing Abzan, Shrines, and Historic BO1. What we're trying to do is play as many shrines as possible. We have quite a few in the deck. So we have Sanctum of Stonefangs. Beginning with main phase, our opponent loses life and we gain life equal to the number of shrines we control. Sanctum of Fruitful Harvest gives us mana of any color, any one color, equal to the number of shrines. Haunting of Cleansing Fire gains us 2 life for each shrine. Haunting of Night's Reach makes our opponent discard a card for each shrine. And Haunting of Life's Web creates us a 1/1 colorless spirit creature token for each shrine we control. So what we're trying to do is assemble as many of these in play as possible, and they're all legendary, so we want to play a nice little split of each. But I felt like playing 4 copies of Fruitful Harvest because we're also playing a lot of top-end heavy spells we're trying to ramp into. So I figured play 4 copies of this, 3 copies of Stonefangs. This is kind of like one of our win conditions because we play no creatures in the deck, so we have no way of actually beating our opponent outright outside of Ugin and Haunting of Life's Web, making as many spirit tokens as possible. And to disrupt them with the discarding and us gaining life makes it really hard for our opponents. We're also playing 4 copies of Thoughtseize to deal with problematic cards rip out of our opponent's hands, especially against a control matchup. We can take away their counter spells, their interaction, their bombs. We're playing 3 copies of Heartless Act to deal with our opponent's creatures. This hits quite a bit of stuff in the format, whether it has counters or not. If it has counters, removing a few counters sometimes can come in handy, but just downright killing most creatures in the format is pretty nice. We have 2 copies of Maelstrom Pulse, deals with a lot of permanents as well, especially if they're in multiples. It's goblin tokens, that's a pretty big deal in the Muxus deck. Hits elves, a lot of various like Llanowar elves, archdruids, all that stuff. We have 2 copies of Cultivate to find us some basics and ramp a little bit. We have 3 copies of Shatter the Sky to deal with our opponent's creatures, and 4 copies of Extinction Event to exile our opponent's creatures. Extinction Event, I think, is the better board wipe, honestly, in my opinion, because there's a lot of indestructible creatures and hard to deal with permanents, especially with hexproof, and there's like no regen in this entire client. Like, I'm pretty sure there's 0 regen, but we have 3 copies of Casualties of War to deal with a plethora of things, and if we can get the 5 for 1, then that's pretty good. Most of the time it's a 2 or 3, sometimes a 4 for 1 if we're lucky. And to top it off, we have 2 copies of Ugin the Spirit Dragon. This is our other big win condition, be able to deal with our opponent's board state. This does wipe our Hondens, so we have to be very careful about exiling. It's really here for the bolting and to just draw us the 7 cards, put the 7 permanents into play. We're actually really trying to focus on getting the ultimate with this, to be able to just slam as many of these that we don't have already into play so we can hopefully close out the game. To finish off the deck, we have a plethora of dual lands, 4 copies of each Shock, 4 copies of Woodland Cemetery, 2 copies of Isolated Chapel, 3 forests, 2 swamp, and a plains. We have 0 sideboard because we're playing best of 1, and let's see how we do in the arena today. Alright, we're going into game 1 against BO1. Let's see what our opponent's got. Our opening hand is a little awkward. I don't think I can keep this. I don't particularly want to see Ugin this early, especially both of them. This hand is so much better. Yeah, I'm definitely going to keep this. I think I'm going to put away the Heartless Act. I hope I don't regret that and need the interaction. I hope I definitely don't regret that, but I think Thoughtseizing our opponent's best card into Sanctum, into Night's Reach, should theoretically just kind of be good enough on its own. So we're going to try it out. Fortunately, I didn't have an untapped black source, so this gets a little awkward, but that'll be okay. Our opponent's playing Explorer, and it seems like they're on some sort of ramp. I think I play this into tap and then see what our opponent's got. Uro's going to be annoying, but I don't think that's going to be as huge of an issue. Storm's Wrath is almost dead to us completely. Banefire can get out of control pretty crazy. I think Hour of Promise is the pick here, just because they can't find their lands, and this is probably, honestly, just the best card in their deck now, I think. Even with Field of Ruin being banned. Or Field of the Dead, I mean. Yep, my opponent plays Uro. Almost like I saw it coming. I drew into Ugin anyway. That's a little awkward. I guess we're just going to want to get the Sanctum of Fruitful Harvest down, because we're going to want the mana. He plays Spring. He's going to be able to draw 2 cards later on. Going to go for black. What are the odds that our opponent plays any sort of counters? So I kind of want to get this down and start tearing apart their hand. It's going to help their Uro out, but it's going to make it pretty awkward for them to just sit on a grip of cards. It doesn't matter how many cards they draw with Uro. I could try to just hold up for Ugin, but that's going to take a bit. And then I'll lose all my Sanctuary, so I gotta be careful with this. I guess I'll play the Hondus. I'll play Knight's Reach first, and tear my opponent's hand a little bit. Opponent's got 4 cards in graveyard, including Uro, so I'll make that 3. Opponent's still a little bit of ways before bringing him back. Opponent decided to draw the 2 cards on their main phase, so I guess we're trying to find some lands. Let's double Storm Wrath this card from our opponent. Double green here. So just go ahead and play Sanctum of Stonefangs. Start draining out our opponent. We have some extras that we can't do anything with. That's what our opponent got. We're going to Banefire us for 0 to get the card to play Uro. Seems fine. If they don't utilize the rest of their mana, they could have got some actual damage in too. I guess they're hoping to draw something. Alright, so they have 4 mana. Huh. I guess our opponent was trying to save up for Castle Lockdown? I'm not really sure why they paid the mana there for that. It was unnecessary. I'm gonna destroy Uro and Castle Lockdown. Oh, we got our opponent in top deck mode. I know it might have some dead cards in our hand, in their mind we have them up on cards. So I guess it doesn't really matter what I take here. Still a little bit of ways. 1 more mana off from Ugin. I think Ugin probably just closes out this game. Alright, so our opponent's going to be petty and shock us for really no No value other than to get the card in the grave, I guess. It's okay, we have a Shatter of the Sky. We can just keep dealing with the Uro for the rest of the game until this slowly gets there. Keep drawing cards, opponent. So, if I play Ugin in -3, I'm going to lose the Sanctum of Fruitful Harvest, along with the ramp, and the color fixing. So, I'm thinking maybe this turn, it might actually be better to just Shatter the Sky. And although our opponent might get a draw, we're still going to be able to just get rid of the Uro, not have to worry about it. Pass it up. Alright, so our opponent ended up dealing with it effectively anyway. So I guess Ugin probably could have been good. Exiling Uro is probably the better approach. I just didn't want to lose out on the Sanctum. I will gladly pitch my extra copies. Hopefully our opponent doesn't top deck more discard. And we can just slam down Ugin this turn. Ooh, Okavaraska. Good card. Our opponent has seen enough. Ugin plus shrines, everybody. Surprisingly decent. Going into game 2 against Razmataz 21. Ooh, this seems like a pretty decent hand. I think we can get away with this. Our first draw is going to be Shatter the Sky, I just know it. Or the White Honden, Cleansing Fire. It's going to be one of those two. Or Thoughtseize, just because I could have used that on turn 1. Oh, that's very cool. There's the white source. I think we just slam down the Sanctum of Fruitful Harvest. Start getting there to casualties. And we'll be able to shut our opponent out of this game before it even starts. Okay, maybe I take that back. Playing Bowser on an empty board is kind of awkward though.
I will guard your advance.
Well, do I just kill that? Because I mean, the chances of him playing any creatures that have haste are pretty slim in these colors. I mean, he might have Rankle. It's like one of the only creatures I can think of. Otherwise, his -2 is not really doing much. If he's just trying to get the emblem off, I still have a few turns before I have to deal with it. I think I just play the Haunted of Night's Reach to start picking at his hand again, because just dwindle the resources, right? We have casualties next turn too, so maybe our opponent might play into that pretty well. Yeah, that's perfect. He's indestructible until end of turn. So our opponent's probably thinking he's in some pretty good shape, honestly. Okay, discarding Myers Grass. So he probably has the Eidolon. the 1 mana Black Eidolon. I can't remember what it's called. Gives you the draws equal to the, or like number of enchantments on a creature. Yeah, casualty seems fine here. So we're just gonna land, planeswalker creature. Let's take your castle. That's a pretty good top deck for our opponent. To at least be able to get stuff. But opponent's got, ooh, I accidentally clicked white. Opponent's got nothing left. That would leave me with 4 mana, so I wouldn't have enough to do both Honden and the Maelstrom Pulse. How much should I be worried about this Loris for a turn? He could put Kai's Ghost Form onto it. That's probably annoying, right? Yeah, I think I have to kill this now, actually. Just go down and get Sanctum Stone Fangs instead. Our opponent has seen enough. Alright guys, we're on a 2-0 streak so far. On to the next one. Going into game 3 against XX Pilates. XX. This hand seems a little slow, but if we hit our 3rd land, our Maelstrom Pulse might be able to carry us till we can get to Honden's and Life Web. I'm gonna give it a shot. Alright, opponent is mulligan down to 6. We have to start off with Isolated Chapel so we have it untapped for next turn. Charmander for our opponent. So I wonder what this is, if this is the mono blue deck. So this might be an interesting matchup. I think I just go ahead and kill this now. Or you can like dive down or whatever the equivalent is on this format. Alright, so that's definitely counter magic. And it's most certainly playing Quench or something of the sort, or Flash Creature. Brineborn, Cutthroat. Yep. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. If I tried to play that, he probably would have had Quench or something. Censor maybe. And it begins. Alright, well, our opponent is definitely... If they have it, they have it. Yep. Saw that coming. Mile away. If only I drew a land there, that would have been sweet. Alright, so he might have another Lofty Denial. It's gonna feel so bad if he counters this. Well, fingers crossed. Oh man. I forgot about Spell Pierce. It would have it. It would have it. Brazen Borrow. We still have a chance. If our opponent doesn't have another counter spell, then we can at least wipe. That's fine. Do we still have a chance here? I mean, it's board wipe or death, right? I don't have much of an option. counter dot deck. Alright. Going into game 4 against, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name because I already know I'll mess it up. This hand is okay. Ugin's not great. It's essentially taking a mulligan to 6. But I think having Thoughtseize, be able to see what our opponent's up to, might be able to play, well, not play around it, but then we're not doing anything that's turn 4 and 5. This hand seems worse the more you look at it, actually. I'm gonna mulligan this. I'll keep that. Put back the Shadow of the Sky. Say hello to our opponent. I saw him say hi. I don't know if that was because I was taking too long or he was genuinely being nice. Alright, well, gonna take the Urvo here. Allosaurus Rider ain't no joke though. Now I'm kind of regretting putting away the Shatter of the Sky. Excuse me. Just go ahead and play this tapped. Alright, so our opponent has 5. They draw a land, then we're gonna get hit for exactly lethal. So I'll play this tapped. Go ahead and kill the Allosaurus Shepherd. Oh, that's brutal. Good game, opponent. Wow, that's really fast. Elzer. Wait a minute. Oh yeah, duh. Don't hit me for 5. I'm an idiot. Alright, well I'm still kinda a mana short here. Alright, I'll play this Sanctum of River Harvest and see if it gets me there. If we board wipe, do we just win? I got a Paradise Road off the top. It's not terrible. Let's go ahead and play this. Put down my Hans in the Cleansing Fire so I can start gaining 4 every turn. Sounds pretty good. Well, let's see. Still mana short from Ugin. So we're gonna have to take a punch here. The only thing I could do is hope that our opponent doesn't have 4 more points of damage. Maybe even draw it. So I can actually Ugin here. -2, keep all my stuff. Our opponent's giving up. Could give him a good game. I really thought I lost already, but just combat math is not my forte. Going into game 5 against Tripocalypse. This hand seems okay. Snag something out of our opponent's hand, ramp a little bit, discard, board wipe. Seems fine. All the Shockman's gonna kind of be a pain in the neck though. Alright, so our opponent's on Rakdos Sacrifice. These are all odd, so I'm actually going to take the priest, so I don't have a turn 2 play. And then even if they jam all this stuff out, I can extinction event it. Naming odd. Always gotta say hello to the pup every game. Hello, pup. The best boy. Truly. And I thought I got a shrine tapped. Opponent got lucky and topped the witch's oven, which is so convenient for them. That's a good draw for us. Yes, that's what I like to see. Good, good. Alright, we're gonna cultivate for a forest and a swamp. I think we're gonna put the forest in play. This one's fine. Go ahead and lead with a tapped over 19. Exile odd. They're gonna be able to keep their token, which I'm perfectly okay with. We'll still have a sackable target for a Mayhem Devil, but 1 point of damage isn't gonna make too much of a difference, I don't think. Oh, what a top deck. Gotta love it. You love to see it, everybody. Hey, you love to see that too. Still a little ways off though. I guess I have the casualties here. And as much as I want to hit the Mayhem Devil, I think... Alright, so if I actually point at the Dreadhorde Butcher, they're gonna sack in a response, get the 1 damage, 3 damage, so that puts me to 7. Then they'll have 4 damage next turn, theoretically. This puts me to 3. If I point it at the Mayhem Devil, do you think that they sack the Dreadhorde Butcher to try to get some extra damage, or do they keep the Dreadhorde Butcher? Because if that grows, that's going to become an issue. I think I have to kill that. Opponent doesn't really have too much of anything special going on in the mana base, so I guess I'll just take a Dragon's Pulse on it. So opponent gets 3 damage off of that. Still 2 mana away from Ugin, so my top deck has to be like really nice here. They got the best top deck possible for their deck. Oh, this is perfect. Very nice. Oh, good game our opponent. They had like the most optimal draws they could have ever had. Ooh, there. Going into game 5 against us in the 4th. Oh man, this game is awkward. I have some early interaction and a board wipe, but I'm very skeptical about keeping a 2-land hand. I might as well be taking them all to 5 too. There's no way I'm playing these anytime soon. I think. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna be greedy and try it. If I lose, not only can we just blame it on my skill level, we can also blame it on that. Alright, so our opponent's playing Ornithopters, like... I think I get rid of Karametra's Blessing. So opponent's on the blue-white enchant deck. And it seems like they're playing Ornithopters. I'd consider playing it as well. It's just a do-nothing card though, for the most part. Sure, play them all. Why not? If I hit a green source on my next draw, I'm in pretty good shape. Kind of want to save this Heartless Act for Loris, whatever. Oh, I'll take 2 in the air. Why not? That's unfortunate. And punished. Totally got punished for that. Alright, well, I'm gonna pass again. See if our opponent tries to go ham on this Ornithopter. Well, of course, Spirit Dancer's not a bad play either. Sure. Yep. There it is. Alright, we're in good shape again. So, I could play the Pulse here. And kill the Ornithopters. If they play all that glitters, they're getting 5, 6, so that'll be 8 in the air. Or they might put it here, so it's 10 total. I could play Sanctum Fruitful Harvest to ensure that I get my Shatter the Sky on time and just wipe everything. I actually think that that's the play here. I might die for it, but it guarantees me that I have a chance if I at least see next turn. Alright, so our opponent just decides to bring Loris, which is perfect for us. Perfect. Saying that in the most sarcastic way possible, by the way. That's not super good for us, actually. I kind of want to force them into playing Loris and then not getting any value out of it. So if I mouse from Pulse, blow up his Ornithopters, he's probably going to equip them to the Spirit Dancer, or at least one of them, maybe. That's a pretty good draw too. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. Taking a lot here. Alright, let's use the double white here and just blow up the board. I have no choice. Opponent might think we might not have another one, so maybe they might overextend this turn. I'm just going to play Misclosed Herald. Yeah, well, Mr. Land drop again, but we're just going to blow up the board. Board wipe and pass. That's our strategy to victory. And they just keep finding their threats too. That's the scary part. That's pretty good. We should honestly have done that on this next turn, I think. So now he's just exiling his yard and I can just kill it. might have another Karametra's Blessing though. That's definitely something I should be wary of. What is this? What does this do? Hold on, I want I can't not. Okay. I'm just gonna do black. What does this do? Can't be blocked. Okay. Seems fun. Alright, well I have 2 black. So I think I'm just gonna start with Stone. Second with Stone Fangs. Gets me some more mana. Also gets me some life back. And then since he's tapped out, I'm just gonna kill it now. Alright. You may have crawled back into this game. We did it, guys. We did it. Yes. Oh, what a comeback. What a comeback. Going into our 7th and final game up against Splinter Quinn. Nice play on words, man. I appreciate it. I see what you did. I see what you did. This is a pretty slow hand. It's got a board wipe though and a casualties. Seems fine. I'm not sure what the game just did. Put a mulligan though. Alright, pitch one of our extinction events and we're off to the races. Oh no, I'm really hoping this is not mono blue for our final game. It is. Please, no. Don't do this to me. Hey, pup. Hey, pup. Alright, well, they're jamming Curiosity, so they might not have... Oh, wait, that's not Heartless Acumen. Oh no. Oh no. We're in a very bad spot. Tempest Vision for our opponents. Well, they're tapped out, so should I just try to go for the kill on one of them? I could kill the Spectral Sailor, stop him, slow him down from drawing a little bit, and worry about this later. But this is probably going to be one of my only opportunities to kill something. At least to make sure he doesn't have like a counter spell or something. I do need to get some ramp going on too. If I can get to casualties, this might play out pretty well too. I really want to set up her extinction event as well. They're both odd, so that's decent. I think I cultivate then and take 5. Oh man, I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to kill this. As much as I want to start ramping. We'll have our extinction event next turn anyway, so if they play anything else into it, that might be better for us. This is a much slower version too, not having flash on this. If this could you imagine if this card had flash? It would be insane. Absolutely bananas. It's already, in my opinion, one of my favorites of the cycle. Good boy. Be nice and cute while our opponent does nothing. Our opponent is definitely big branding it right now. Yeah, they were really struggling to figure out if they should hold up that counterspell or not. Well, I think I gotta try to go for it. He's obviously got a counterspell. Let's it stick. Interesting. Okay, that makes more sense. Well, I'm taking a whopping here. I think I have to go for this. And our opponent's got us. Been a good game, our opponent. Oh man, what a sad last game. I think Mono Blue is a pretty tough matchup for us though. Still, it was fun. Hey guys, welcome back, and if you're still here, thanks for checking in with the wrap up. Today we went 4-3 in Historic BO1 ranked, and I had a lot of fun doing it. And a few cards that I considered playing as well that I didn't today were Oath of Kaya and Assassin's Trophy. I have tried Assassin's Trophy in testing, and it's a little slow. Sometimes, well, not slow, but sometimes it gives your opponent that mana advantage that you really don't want to give them, and sometimes it's a good catch-all. But I think taking this back in the lab, I might try it out again, as well as maybe a few more copies of Maelstrom Pulse to be able to deal with our opponent's early game threats a little better. Otherwise, I think the deck does pretty well as long as I can stick a few of the Sanctums. There's a few games that we didn't see Sanctum with Fruitful Harvest, and we definitely noticed the difference, and not seeing our lands as often as we wanted kind of hurt us a little bit. I might take it back and add a few more lands as well, but either way, thanks for watching everyone. I hope you enjoyed it, and if so, please leave a like and comment, as well as subscribe and hit that bell for notifications if you'd like to see more content like this. And I'll see you guys in the next video.